If you have completed this basic drafting of field or hatch, I'm going to show you a little bit of its editing now. Prior to that, just make sure now that you are not engaged with the snap on grid points. That is nothing but this particular button, snap grid snap. It's not on. If it is on, please off that by using either click on this button or use Alt S as a short key or a hotkey, I can say. So once you have switch off this particular grid snap option, now I'm going to switch to the arrow tool. You can press W from your keyboard. You'll go to the arrow tool. I'm going to show you what exactly how it differs if in case if I select this particular pattern or the hatch area which I have drawn, which was exactly matching with the old my original grid spacing. By chance, if I try to copy this, so I'm now using the pan, so you can just make sure that panning is holding the mouse middle button. You will get a hand symbol and you just try to pan it uh, as per your choice. That is, take the sufficient area on the other part of your screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add Control Shift D, drag a copy, and I'm going to give you one base point as per my choice. If you read it is enter and enter drag reference point. Now you got used to about this. So I'm just going to give one reference point, and from there I'm going to specify the location drag to point. I'm going to do it very randomly, and you will realize that how there is a difference between the pattern for its placement inside the specified boundary. Here the exact intervals of 600 you are getting as a full tiles. If you imagine that these are the floor tiles or something, in this specified length, for example, what was the length? So you can check out, the length was supposed to be exactly 4200 and 3000. So 600 intervals of 600, everything was getting exactly occupied, which is in return, even if I'm having the same distance, fine, so the distance is same, but you can see the spacing for the grid line is not changed, but overall the pattern is not exactly fulfilling the full tiles. Instead of that, there are lot many cut tiles. All this thing is happening just because of one setting, which I'll now going to explain you. Now remember, if I select this hatch, which is already selected, you can see all selected one. And if I go inside the settings, how? You can hit Control T also from the keyboard, and you will realize you are inside the field selection setting. Earlier it used to be field default setting. The default was draw mode. Now selection is the edit mode. Right now in this, if you check, it is written construction method, which is nothing but link to field origin. It indicates that from the origin point, the entire pattern will be calculated and placed inside the specified area or the boundary which you specify for your field. Inside that, it will be placed, but with respect to the project origin. Okay, so that is what is supposed to be 00 of this. If I switch to the second option, link to field origin, field in the sense the hatched area, its origin ArchiCAD will identify, and from there the pattern will start. So let's try for this. So I'm going to click on this. Once I say OK, you will be surprised to see that your pattern or this particular hatch is now distributed evenly from its center point of the hatch. Okay, so please try this. So once you have achieved this particular change, you will notice that there's one vector which is added to the center of your hatch area. So approximately the center point of, not approximately, I can say, what are the hatched area or the field area you have drawn, ArchiCAD will find out its center point depending on the shape. So don't worry, if in case you have drawn circle or hexagon, octagon or any odd shape, what are the maximum boundary or the bounding box will be designed to that your specified hatch, and then ArchiCAD will identify its center point, and at that point this vector will be placed. So what we have to do, See, it's a very simple thing. Now I'm going to show you the editing by using the pet palette logic. If if you check, there's a origin point and there is a direction vector. So I can't see this. If I deselect this object, it's not possible to see that. But when I select, I can definitely see that origin, and one is the direction of the vector, and those are nothing but from the origin point my pattern will start getting organized inside the specified region, and the direction will show you the orientation of the pattern. So I'm going to show you how we can edit this. Later we will see how to edit the boundary of this pattern or the hatch area also. So let's quickly try to get the pet palette. How? You know it very well that if you click on the node, so especially I'm going to click on the this vector node, okay, origin, vector origin, and the moment I click, you will see the pet palette. In that you will see the first button is a move fill handle. If you read the tooltip, it is written as a move fill handle. So this is something which is activated, not the next four commands. So once I select this, and then if I move this handle to this particular midpoint of this vertical edge, you will see how my pattern is now rearranged, right? And if I try to move the same at the bottom over here, obviously then I'll get the same reflection. Then it is not going to make any difference that even if I copy this pattern somewhere else, the link to field origin will be always on, and not from the project origin it will be calculated. Okay. I'm going to show you one more interesting thing, but please try the option which I have explained till now, and then try this one also. See, for example, now if I click on the vector for its other end, that is nothing but right end of this vector, and then that is field handle, and this time if I check, the same option is activated, move field handle, and you will be surprised that this time if I try to give some angle, say 45 degree, what will happen? My entire pattern will be rotated in 45 degree. So now I am expecting that you will be practicing on all these options. Try with some other hatch pattern if you want, but at least get basic knowledge of this, and then follow the next clip.